For nearly 3 years, I, Michael, believed I had everything figured out. Life with Claire felt stable, if not quietly extraordinary. She was brilliant, quick with words, always the sharpest person in the room. There was a magnetism to her, like she moved with purpose the rest of us hadn't caught up to yet. We first crossed paths at a tech conference in Seattle. She was handling PR for a scrappy startup, while I was speaking on cybersecurity vulnerabilities. She approached me after the session with a clever observation, and just like that, something clicked, where I was methodical, grounded, and deliberate. Claire was spontaneous, charismatic, and always slightly out of reach. But somehow, we balanced each other. We built a life together, a cozy apartment filled with plants and books, weekend escapes up the coast, dinner parties where we played. The perfect couple for our friends. There were inside jokes, lazy Sunday mornings, wine-fueled debates about art versus science. To outsiders, we were enviable. People like Ryan and Mia toasted to us at gatherings. To the golden couple, Ryan would say, raising his glass, I'd smile and play along, quietly proud. But even then, cracks had begun to form. There were things about Claire that didn't quite fit. She'd skillfully deflect when asked about her past. Whenever the name Ethan came up, an ex I only knew of through passing remarks, her face would tighten, and she'd wave it off. He's irrelevant. Total loser. Let's not dig into garbage. I let it go. Maybe I shouldn't have. She worked late more often. Came home smelling like rooftop cocktails and expensive perfume that wasn't hers. When I asked casually how the night had gone, she'd breeze past the question or change the subject. I didn't press. I didn't want to be that suspicious partner, the paranoid boyfriend who couldn't trust a woman with her own life. We even kept up appearances with couple friends. Claire shone at those dinners, always one step ahead with stories and charm. I played my role. Then one night, she said something that shifted it all. We're burning out, Michael. Let's go somewhere, just us. Portugal, maybe. It sounded perfect. An escape, a fresh page. I booked it that night, flights to Lisbon, boutique hotels, the works. I wanted to believe we were just in a rut. I wanted to believe I could fix it. The first few days in Lisbon felt like a dream. We wandered through sunlit cobblestone alleys, sampled grilled sardines along the waterfront, clinked glasses in tiny taverns while fado singers filled the air with longing. Claire was radiant again, snapping photos, pulling me along through street markets, laughing like she used to. There were moments where I thought maybe, just maybe, I'd been wrong to worry. Maybe this really was a reset. Then came the day at the Riverside Cafe. Her phone buzzed. She glanced at the screen, smiled in a way that didn't reach me, and tapped out a reply. I asked, lightly, who's that? She didn't even look up, just work. She flipped the phone face down. That evening, while we dressed to go out, she was texting again. I caught the angle of her shoulder, the way she tilted the screen away. Who are you messaging? I asked. She laughed, delight, to rehearsed. Don't get jealous, Michael. You'd be bored just reading it. Logistics. But she checked that screen again and again, even during dinner, hiding it under her scarf when she wasn't holding it. I smiled through it, pretended not to notice, but my mind was spiraling. That night, she slept with the phone clutched in her hand. I lay next to her, staring at the ceiling, my gut screaming the truth I didn't want to face. The next morning, she was up early, hairbrush in hand, voice bright like nothing had happened. Heading to the art district, she said cheerfully, "You should rest, you look wiped." I offered to come along. She laughed, "You hate galleries. You'll be bored." Stiff, she kissed my forehead and left. The second the door clicked behind her, I moved. I grabbed my phone. Before the trip, we'd installed a location-sharing app, a safety precaution she suggested herself. Her dot wasn't heading to the art district, it was moving toward the docks. I dressed quickly and followed. The tram ride felt endless, my fists clenched with every turn. When I got close, I ducked into a souvenir shop and checked the map again. She was stationary now at a small, quiet dockside cafe. I crossed the street slowly, keeping my head down, and then I saw her, sitting outside in the sun, her legs crossed, her face lit with laughter. Across from her, a man leaned in sun-bleached hair, a rugged leather jacket. I didn't have to guess. It was Ethan. The so-called loser she'd erased. From her story, she touched his hand with a familiarity that made my stomach drop. They weren't reconnecting, they never disconnected. I froze, rooted across the street, watching them like a scene from a film I didn't belong in. My first instinct was to confront them, cause a scene, scream. But something in me went quiet instead. I snapped a few discreet photos, turned around, and walked away. Back at the hotel, Claire was lounging in bed, scrolling her phone like nothing had happened. Good art? I asked casually. She smiled. Stunning. You would have hated it. I nodded, playing along. But something had shifted. I was done playing the fool. I stayed up all night while she slept soundly beside me. By dawn, I knew exactly what I had to do. While she showered, I unlocked her phone, same passcode we'd always shared. I told myself it wasn't betrayal. It was confirmation. Within moments, I had all the proof I needed. Hundreds of messages between her and Ethan. Old ones, new ones. Plans to meet in Lisbon. Coded jokes, confessions. Michael's clueless. This time it's real. Counting the hours, she hadn't stumbled into Ethan. She'd orchestrated the whole thing. Portugal wasn't a reset for us. It was a romantic escape for them. I quietly forwarded the messages to myself, then deleted the sent copies from her phone. When she stepped out wrapped in a towel, I smiled, thinking we should shake things up today. I said. Her eyes lit up. Now that's the spirit. She rambled on at breakfast. I listened, nodded, smiled. Meanwhile, I booked a one-way flight home, called the hotel front desk, and made up a family emergency to check out early. That night, while she slept, I packed silently. Essentials only: passport, charger, wallet. Then I sat by the window, wrote a simple note, folded it neatly, and left it on her pillow. Claire, I know. Enjoy Portugal. We're done. Michael's cab to the airport was silent. The flight home, even quieter. I stared out the window as miles of ocean passed below, shedding the weight of her lies with every cloud we flew over. When I landed in Chicago, I moved fast. I transferred every cent from our joint accounts to my personal one, called a locksmith to rekey the apartment. I boxed up her clothes, her shoes, her framed photos, her scented candles, everything, and left the boxes outside our door. When she returned 2 days later, I heard her knock. The key jammed, then frantic pounding. I stood behind the peephole, unmoving, watching her see the boxes, her face twisted in disbelief, then panic. She called my name, begged. I stayed still. Eventually, she left. The next day, Ryan called. Dude, what happened in Portugal? What did Claire tell you? I asked. That you abandoned her after some huge blowout. She's sobbing to Mia, posting cryptic stuff online. It's a mess. I almost laughed. She didn't mention cheating on me with Ethan. Silence. I sent him the screenshots, every message, every timestamp. Minutes later, holy shit, man. I had no idea. Words spread fast. Friends distanced themselves from her. Some apologized to me. Others faded quietly. Claire kept posting quotes about betrayal and fake people. I ignored them. But then came the final line she crossed. A fake email to HR at my job full of absurd accusations. My boss saw through it instantly. But that was it. I was done letting her set fires in my life. I called a lawyer, David. Told him everything. He drew up a cease and desist. Formal, legal, final. By the next day, it sat on her office desk in a plain envelope. It made everything clear. No more contact, no more lies, or we take legal action. 2 days of silence. Then one final text from an unknown number. Think you're so smart. You're pathetic. Enjoy your lonely life. Blocked. That was the last time she ever reached out. Friends told me Claire tried to spin a new version of the story. No one believed it. Eventually, she moved in with Ethan. It didn't last. He kicked her out months later. She left the state, maybe chasing a new start. I didn't care. I'd already found mine. A new apartment, deeper friendships, long hikes, motorcycle weekends. Simple peace. No drama, no second guessing. Looking back, my quiet exit was the smartest thing I've ever done. No fights, no shouting, just clarity and truth. I didn't destroy Claire. I didn't need to. I just stepped away and let the truth do the work. And Now, I sleep. Peacefully, no more lies whispering in the dark.